Rick Zekelberry, the CEO of Origin Oil, of course, originoil.com, Breakthrough Water Technology, and a company we've been featuring here on sort of our Birth of a Public Company and the Small Caps for People too. Riggs, how are you today? Great to see you.
Well, I'm excited. I've been traveling on this whole new agenda that we have, which I'll be happy to talk to you about today, which is this acquisition plan.
Yeah, you know, so first of all, for some of our new affiliates, as you heard, we're across the country now. There's a lot of people that haven't even heard your story yet, Riggs. Let's just take a couple of minutes and talk about exactly where you were, where you are now, and where you're going. Let's get into the acquisition plan because this is very exciting. This is very exciting news.
What'd you buy now?
Happiness.
Aw, look at you. That explains the jacket.
Exactly. Don't you like it?
Yeah, I love it.
Yes, I do.
You can borrow it if you want.
Yeah, I think Russ. I think the two of you guys have hit the road with this thing. All right, Riggs, give us an overview of what just for the people that haven't seen or heard you before.
Yes. So, Rusty, we will continue offline. But just talking about Origin Oil, we are a pure technology company. We have a breakthrough technology to treat water. We have a focus in the energy space, both in helping to harvest algae and also to, very importantly, to decontaminate frack water and petroleum-produced water. And then we have numerous other licensing opportunities in areas like aquaculture, which you love so much, algae for feed, et cetera. But really the energy part is primary. And in fact, what we've found most recently is as we move out and look for licensees, there are many, many, many prospects, the majority, that really are end users, not potential licensees. And that's when we started thinking about servicing these people directly.
And the that whole licensee game, you mentioned the Dolby model, Riggs, and I think that's one of the most important things that you can mention there because I think that's it takes the sticks and bricks away, and suddenly that's mailbox money that we talked about. It's a better model for all of your technologies, right?
Licensing is our primary model. It's what we're focused on, and it's really how we're going to take our technology and get it really applied across the world in many, many areas. And so how does this acquisition idea fit into that? So just to
we'll ask the questions here.
No, it's true though. Which was my next question.
Yeah, how does it fit in?
Because let's just take one more step here. We're going across a couple of verticals here. We're crossing over oil and gas, crossing over algae. We're crossing over aquaculture and eventually water cleanup. All this is all about extraction of algae. At least it started that way. But you've got several different verticals here. Do the acquisitions line up in each different vertical, or are the acquisitions going to be kind of the model for all the verticals?
No, we are focusing specifically in oil and gas.
Okay.
We're not interested in doing a lot of. Okay, let me just back up a second because I kind of backed into this as Rusty pointed out so nicely.
Yes.
So what we saw was as we were going out, Bill Charneski, the head of our oil and gas division, is in Houston. We have an office there, and he has a plethora of prospects for licensing. We have literally dozens of deals unfolding right now. It's a very exciting time. What he found was that even a greater number were companies that really wanted our technology, but they weren't going to be licensees. So they were more drill operators, for example.
Okay.
And so how do you serve people like that? You can't say, well, wait until XYZ licensee gets around to you in 18 months or 24 months. No, those guys will go to Halliburton. So there's a need to serve the immediate demand for water cleanup in the oil and gas space. And so we decided to put in place a service capability. Now, we don't know how to run an oil service company. And so that's where acquisition comes in.
You find people that already know how and bring them in.
Right. So basically, that's the old vertical model. I mean, that's vertical integration model, Riggs. That was back in the 90s, and it was so successful, and the time's probably right for that right now.
The time is right. A good analogy is, we have a sister company, that Solar 3D, that has a great solar technology. Well, recently they acquired a solar installation company to give them exposure in the solar business and to give them immediate revenues while they continue the long-term technology development.
That's a good idea.
So, licensing is wonderful. It's mailbox money, but it takes a while to develop.
The interesting part of that, the interesting part for that is that the licensing model, once it does develop, Riggs, is viral. I mean, it's almost it's almost there's this sort of thing that happens and I know that you and I have talked about this off the air. Where,
Snowballs, huh?
Well, it really does. I'm going to keep you over here for a second because I want to talk more. Riggs Eckelberry, CEO of Origin Oil, talking about the new acquisition strategy that's coming up.
And I want to change my last name to Frackwater.
Well, excellent. I think that's a great idea for you.
Russ T. Frackwater. Good to meet you.
The
Powerful.
name of the company, Origin Oil. The stock symbol, OOIL, and their website, originoil.com. Riggs Eckelberry, CEO, talking about oil and gas, the petroleum industry, a water handling industry. He'll explain to you why. We'll take a look at it. It's the Big Biz Show, bigbizshow.com. More from Riggs and Origin Oil coming back after the break. Riggs Eckelberry actually featured in a Armed Forces Radio Network 30-minute special that we're doing just for the AFN guys. A lot of people sending emails about this company and asking, really, it's kind of a robust sort of play that they're doing. Riggs, we were talking about how this acquisition model that you guys are doing ends up becoming viral after a while. I beg your pardon, the licensing model ends up being viral. Once you dip your toe in that and it really goes. Plans for the future, and I think I asked this before, but I just want to make sure I understand, can you license in every different vertical the same way?
Pretty much. The technology transfer model is pretty much the same because the technology is the same. So that's actually very repeatable and very scalable. One thing that I wanted to really emphasize about this acquisition strategy is that we are going to be acquiring companies that are profitable. So these will be accretive, as we say. They'll add value. They'll show revenue short term. I think that's a very healthy way to expand and to cover current costs and segue, as you pointed out, into that very important multiplier effect of the licensing revenue.
Yeah, which is interesting because I think I guess for us the part that is important is the forward progress you guys have made over the last 12, 18 months, and it's been astounding.
Acquiring companies that are already successful. That's why you're at the top, big guy.
Well, yeah, but also let's talk about this. Let's also talk about this, Riggs. We've had a lot of great news from you coming out of the algae side of things in the last couple weeks. Let's just review that real quickly because I've got a couple emails coming in asking about that.
Of course, and in fact, on Monday, my brother delivered a bang-up conference at European Algae Biomass 2014 in Seville, and that was extremely well received. We had a lot of deal flow going. This was all around the algae for feed strategy, which is really great because once we harvest the algae with our machine, there's not much post-processing after that. It just gets mixed in with other feeds. So it's a very direct use of our machine, and there's a tremendous amount of demand for it. So that's moving ahead quickly. Our commercial officer, Jean-Louis, is moving on from Europe to Asia. He's going to Japan, Korea, China, and Singapore in quick succession, all for deals. And a lot of them are in algae space. I would say 90% of them in the algae space.
Does that commodity type sale excite you as much as a licensing model sale?
Well, of course, anything that gets our technology into the world is fine. But let me say that algae for feed, we don't plan to make feed.
No.
It's still a licensing play.
No Riggs pellets coming out, huh?
Yeah, good. Which I think we're all
too much information.
Yes, right. But that makes sense. Okay.
What we want to do is there's major feed suppliers, chemical companies, and so forth that are desperate, farmers that want this technology, and so we want licensees that will take that out, and there is tremendous demand for it.
Does your process make it easier to start a fish farm? Because I'm thinking of it.
Oh boy,
come on!
Why is it always about you starting another algae farm, fish farm?
So easy to do.
Hemp
though.
farm.
Fish, they eat, you take it out, you squeeze it into pellets, you give it back. It's like a Soylent Green
Riggs,
for the
before
underwater.
Riggs, before I let you out of here today, what's next? So this is going to be your focus here for the next short term. I'm going to say 3 to 6 months, or is this going to be your straight focus while the new technologies continue to come out and we have proof of concept still coming out?
Well, remember that the Petroleum Roadshow is geared up for 27 million Colorado, for June in Houston, later June in California. That's all very exciting. That's continuing. That it pushes our licensing strength. So this acquisition strategy is really a way to fill the short-term revenue needs and to also fulfill the demand from companies that want our technology but don't want to be licensees.
Very good. Riggs Eckelberry, Origin Oil CEO, OOIL stock symbol, originoil.com. And of course, go check out a lot of the great video on their website talk about the market success and electro water separation. Riggs, thanks so much. Can't wait to see you next week in studio, buddy.